Alright, Pack, welcome back here to another video on the Dividend Dogger Show on YouTube, where I'm going to go into my weekly portfolio review. This is a traditional brokerage account through M1 Finance that is meant to bridge the gap for early retirement. So if you're interested in stocks and what I'm purchasing, that's the place to be. So we're going to first go over the portfolio as a whole. We're going to look into this and see exactly what we made for the week, as well as where we spent dividends or we purchased stocks. We're going to go over the total portfolio here real quick. I'm just going to briefly do an overview of the portfolio. Right now, this portfolio was started in August of 2019. And I have rapidly funded this portfolio and taken a little bit off the table in the middle of this year for several stocks that were pretty high, and went ahead and just continued to invest and roll dividends into the portfolio. So as you can see here, a couple of categories are in the red. Monthly dividend stocks, the newest one, and bringing back industrial and finance, those are in the red category for all time right now. But overall, you can see the portfolio is very much still in the green, and I'm going to continue to be investing in this portfolio until we are at about $80,000 in passive income in the portfolio, so that it generates every year through dividends. So let's go ahead and break down how the week was. I think everyone knows this was a pretty red week this week. We did earn a little bit in dividends, $77.41 for this week, but overall we were in the red, just over 1% for the week. So that was down about $6,790 total. And as you can see, we did get a little dividend payment. I believe that's from Duke. I'm going to reinvest those dividends this coming week. We did have some other dividend income come in, and I'll show you what those purchases were here in just a moment. Coma money was down just a little bit here, 1.6%. That is mainly just SCHD and Berkshire Hathaway. So I've been piling money into SCHD. We just got our pretty hefty, largest dividend payment from SCHD we've received, and we're reinvesting that. So that's going to bring us into the first set of buys. I'm going to go ahead and show you all of the earned income and everything that went into the portfolio over the past week or so. So if we look here, we have on the 12th, we received Target and SCHD. That SCHD payment was $1,204. If you follow the community section, I did make a little post about this. I was super happy to receive this income. It is absolutely fantastic to have seen that jump in income for the month from SCHD, and that was all reinvested. Then we also had a couple more dividends roll in: Home Depot, Coca-Cola, and Duke. And then we did a little buy, and we still have a little bit to go. So let's go ahead and jump into what the purchases were. So we did a buy of Costco. That was with Home Depot and some of the others combined. I'm going to continue to build up my Costco position over time, especially as it is slowly kind of coming down into a more reasonable range. I don't recommend that everyone go out and buy Costco right now. It is expensive. The reason that I want to do this is I love the stability that Costco provides, and every time I go to Costco, it's just packed. I end up spending more money than I need to there. I get so many products there, and I just love it. I think it's going to continue to pay out for a very long time, well beyond my lifetime. So I'm going to continue to build that position up slowly over time. The next ones were SCHD Dividend rolled in, and it went right back into the portfolio. This was an amazing dividend for SCHD, in my opinion. I did reinvest Target as well. So those are three companies there that I want more shares of: Costco, SCHD, and Target. The SCHD shares, it was 15.6 shares on the drip. That is absolutely amazing, especially if we keep getting, in the future, these 70-cent dividends, or even higher next year. It's absolutely amazing to get that and see it compound into 15.6 shares. So That is pretty phenomenal. Very happy with that. That is the Como Money Pie for the week. Then we are going to jump into the Consumer Pie, which was down just 0.55 or $768. This was not actually down all that much for the week. Home Depot was in the green, Lowe's was in the green, and everything else was in the red. So it kind of balanced out weight-wise. It didn't have too much of a shift, but I do want to build this target position up a little bit. I want to get Costco built up a little bit more over the year, especially if Costco is going to keep coming down. I can't wait to reinvest and buy more shares of that as we go into the very near future here. I do want to also point out that Altria is actually looking pretty solid, despite declining smokers and tobacco use. They've continued to keep up with the dividend and the raises for it. They've been doing pretty solid. I'm actually potentially going to put some more into that over the next year, especially if it does come down in price. I actually really like that right now. Overall, the finance pie going into that took a pretty heavy hit this week. It's 6% for T. Rowe, 4% for Bank of OZK, 2% for Bank of America, JP Morgan, and 1% for Citigroup. Overall, down about $2,500. We did earn a little dividend. I believe this $12 is from T. Rowe. And overall, just kind of finance has been all over the place this year. I started the year with making an iffy investment into Ally, and then culling that for the tax loss harvesting on it and moving on from there. So overall, I'm just kind of in a holding pattern with finance. I'm going to reinvest those dividends into other categories for the year. Then we have healthcare. Healthcare is predominantly made up of AbbVie and Johnson & Johnson, with AbbVie was one of my largest positions this year, so I've trimmed that back pretty significantly. And if you can see year to date, it was pretty high. It spiked at about 100 and was at 89,000. And then I kind of sold off my initial investment into AbbVie and pulled that out of the market. So I'm still holding a fair bit of the gains from AbbVie in that position, and I'm going to continue to hold that into 2023 and see how they do with the transition off of the craziness that has been Humira. We'll see how they transition as a company. Utilities, you can see the same thing year to date. I had a massive position in VST. We've trimmed that back pretty significantly. For the week this week, VST ended up almost 1% up at 0.88 up. Duke was down just slightly. Nothing really going on there. I'm not really looking to invest in VST right now, as they're still pretty expensive from where they were when I was buying them in 2021. But overall, doing pretty solid. The monthly dividend, which is just BST, that's Bravo, BlackRock Science and Technology. That I've got a little position built up. It's about 8,000. I kind of want to get this up to about 10,000, maybe a little bit higher. I'd like to get it where it's compounding a couple shares every month. But that's just going to continue to keep growing. I'm not particularly keen on investing in it right now. It does have some interesting properties to it, and I definitely enjoy having that as a little piece of the portfolio that adds and compounds every month. Getting to see that come in is pretty fantastic. The newest addition was the industrial and the railroads. I have not added to the railroads yet. It's likely going to be UMP when it does come in to the portfolio here. I'm going to build up a little position in that. But right now, Louisiana Pacific Corp was down about 4% for the week. Not too concerned with this. I'm going to hold this for at least a few years and see how this does. They predominantly make a large chunk of their money off of doing siding and home construction stuff. It's not just new construction, it's rehabbing work as well. So I don't think they're going to be going anywhere in the near future. I think a lot of people that locked in these loans from the past 2 years, they're going to want to be holding on to those properties for a long period of time, which means that you're going to end up repairing them. This is kind of my wheel well area where I work, so I really like this idea of having this company in the portfolio. I just recently added this past month, so it doesn't have a very long history with the portfolio. So it's basically one of the positions that I wanted to add, and I like it or it's added about 100 shares. I'm probably going to do something very similar with UNP and possibly Canadian Railroad. I'm very interested in those as markets, and I might go over some of the Qualterm analytics on those, but that'll be for another video here in the near future. So as it stands right now, portfolio is doing pretty solid for the year. We are down a pretty hefty amount when you look at things overall, but so far for the year we've earned over $19,000. We are gonna break over $20,000 in earned income for this year because we still have several more positions to pay out for December. And as you can see, the market gain, we're down almost $40,000 for the portfolio. So it's definitely been a tough year for the stock market and for the doggo portfolio overall. However, I know that my returns, when you weigh in the dividends earned, and you look at the total portfolio, like this is a money weighted average return, but it's still right around 3.15% of the portfolio that it was down total for the year, which when you weigh that against what our portfolio for our 401k accounts did for the year, we smoked that. We are down significantly less than the other portfolios, but a large portion of that I believe is taking the money off the table when I did this summer, and kind of going from there. So I do want to say thank you all very much for watching. I will have another video out on right before Christmas, so I hope that all of you have a happy holiday season with whatever holidays you may be celebrating with your families. I hope that you enjoy your loved ones that are around you, cuddle your animals. I know I'm going to be playing with our dogs. We got them all holiday sweaters. It's really goofy. I don't expect them to last long, but we're going to take some fun photos and play with the dogs. We did have a little bit of snow, so it's going to be really interesting to see if we actually get a white Christmas this year. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know if you were buying anything this week, if you have SCHD, if you dripped that dividend. Let me know how you're doing. I love chatting and getting updates from every single one of you, especially those of you who are content creators on YouTube. I love interacting with you. I love getting to watch your videos and seeing your project, your process, and your dividend projects or your investment projects. I love seeing that and seeing how that's going. There's been some massive progress with several different people that I'm going to do a shout out video next week and get a list of the people that I absolutely love following on YouTube. And I'm definitely going to be doing a little shout out thing for them and kind of maybe trying to highlight, if I can, their progress for the year right around the beginning of the new year. I think that would be a fun video to just kind of see how everyone has done overall for the year. So thank you very much for watching and have a fantastic weekend.